If you're thinking about buying a home, you've probably heard the horror stories about getting a mortgage, right? It always sounds like this impossible maze of confusing paperwork and strange terms. But what if it didn't have to be that way? Today, we're going to give you the map to get through it all.
I mean, does the very thought of all that mortgage paperwork just make your head spin? If it does, you are so not alone. It's one of the biggest financial moves you'll ever make, and yeah, the whole process can feel super complicated.
But it really doesn't have to be. We're going to break the entire thing down into clear, simple steps. Seriously, by the end of this, you'll have a roadmap that'll make you feel confident and totally in control. So let's start with the big picture, shall we? At its heart, the entire mortgage process can really be boiled down to a pretty straightforward 4-step journey. We're going to walk through every single stage from the second you apply to the day you finally get those keys. Okay, so step 1 is the application. This is where you lay all your cards on the table, financially speaking, usually on a standard form called the 1003. Think of it as telling your complete financial story. Next up, the lender starts the analysis. They kind of become financial detectives, digging into your credit, your income, your assets, all to figure out if you can repay the loan. Once they've dotted their I's and crossed their T's, your loan moves into processing. This is all the behind-the-scenes work, the underwriting and final approvals. And then you finally get to the finish line, closing. This is the big day where you sign a mountain of documents, the money officially changes hands, and you get the keys to your new home. Now, as you're going through those steps, you're going to see a bunch of different costs pop up. But to help you understand what's what, you have a really powerful ally in your corner. Let's meet your first guide, a federal law called RESPA. RESPA stands for the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. But all you really need to know is that its entire job is to protect you, the consumer. It basically forces lenders to be totally transparent about all the costs, so there are zero nasty surprises on closing day. So what does RESPA actually do for you? Well, it gives you 3 major protections. First, you'll get a good faith estimate of your costs right at the beginning, so you know what you're getting into. Second, you get the final closing statement at least 1 full day before you have to sign, which gives you time to breathe and review everything. And this last one is huge. RESPA bans kickbacks. This means real estate agents or lawyers can't get secret payments for sending you to a specific lender. It makes sure their advice is actually in your best interest. Okay, so RESPA helps with all those one-time closing costs. But what about the long-term cost of the loan itself? For that, we need to meet our second guide, the Truth in Lending Act, or TILA for short. TILA is all about making things clear, so you can compare your options. Its whole mission is to make sure lenders have to present the cost of a loan in a standard way. That way, you, the consumer, can accurately compare different offers and make a smart, informed decision. And TILA helps clear up one of the absolute most confusing things about any loan, the difference between the interest rate and the APR. Just think of the interest rate as the tip of the iceberg. It's the basic cost of borrowing money. But the annual percentage rate, the APR, well, that's the whole iceberg. It includes the interest rate plus all the other fees and charges. So when you're comparing loans, the APR is the number that tells you the real story. And to make sure you can't possibly miss this critical information, the rule that actually puts TILA into action, it's called Regulation Z, demands something very specific. It says all the key cost disclosures have to be pulled out and grouped together, separate from all the other legal jargon. The result of that rule is something incredibly helpful for you as a borrower. It creates a standardized section on your documents that people call the federal box. You can think of it as a one-stop shop, a cheat sheet for the most important numbers in your entire loan. So what's inside this magic box? 4 critical numbers. The amount financed, that's the actual loan amount you're getting. The finance charge, that's the total dollar cost you'll pay for borrowing that money over the whole life of the loan. The APR, which we just talked about, that's the total cost shown as a yearly rate. And finally, the total of payments. This is the big one. It's the grand total you will have paid, your loan plus all the interest and fees by the time you make that very last payment. So you get the costs, you get the process, but what about your rights? You should know the law provides some really powerful protections to make sure you're treated fairly. First up is a right that's so powerful, I just want you to remember this one number, 3. That number represents your right of rescission. Now, this doesn't usually apply when you're buying a new home, but for other things, like refinancing, you legally have 3 business days after you sign to cancel the whole deal. No penalty, no questions asked. It's an incredible cooling off period that gives you ultimate peace of mind. And there are two other major protections in your corner. The Equal Credit Opportunity Act makes it flat out illegal for lenders to discriminate against you for any reason. They have to judge you on your finances, period. And the Fair Credit Reporting Act gives you the right to see exactly what's in your credit file and to dispute any errors you find, which is so important because your credit score is a huge piece of this puzzle. So there you have it. From the 4 basic steps of the process to your key legal allies, RESPA and TILA, that mortgage maze suddenly starts to look a lot more like a straight road, doesn't it? It might seem intimidating, but every single stage has rules designed to protect you. You have a right to clarity, and you have a right to be treated fairly. So, with this new roadmap in hand, are you ready to navigate your journey to a new home?